Jeannie McGill is a certified senior advisor, and she regularly talks on the subject, the 5 wishes, the first living will with a heart. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is a very interesting topic, and I must admit I'm not too familiar with it, although we do have a living will. But before we get to that, what is a certified senior advisor? That also is a new term for me.
My certification comes from the Society of Senior Advisors, which is out of Denver, Colorado. And it's a society of professionals who work mostly with seniors. I also am a certified pre-planning consultant and a hospice volunteer.
Ah, for heaven's sake. So therefore, you're dealing a great deal with hospice issues, aren't you?
It's all about planning.
But I was startled to read in the literature that statistics indicate that 70% of us are unprepared in one or more areas of planning, living will and that sort of thing. I thought that once you prepared a living will, that was it. But is that not the case?
Well, certainly people sometimes change their mind. Like you may have thought years ago, I do not want to be resuscitated at any cost. And maybe 5 years later, you decide that you did want to. So you can certainly change them.
But the living will can be changed relatively easy, right?
Yes, it can, especially with the 5 wishes.
Do we need, now you have here, I thought this was fascinating, you say 5 wishes, and then we have 5 wishes that we're going to talk about. And it seems to me that it's very all-inconclusive. So I talked to my wife about this, and we don't think that we covered all these points in our living will, so on. So let's talk about the first one. The person I want to make care decisions for me when I can't. What does that mean?
You're going to name a person who is going to become an advocate for you. Someone that is going to bat for you when you cannot make decisions for yourself. And so it's like a durable a power of attorney for health care. And that's the person that's going to...
The person that you select becomes like a legal person, a guardian type of thing.
Yes, this is a legal document once it is notarized.
Now, should we also mention that I think that eventually we're going to be showing this on camera, that people who are watching can get a copy of this, right?
Most certainly they can. I also do free seminars to educate people on how to use the 5 wishes and answer any questions that they might have.
And this document, once it's signed, does it have to be notarized? Or
Yes.
just, it can be notarized by a family member?
No, it has to be notarized. We encourage people to have it notarized, and then
So this
it becomes a legal document.
And so it's not a lot of legal lawyer effort then, is it?
No, and what I like about the 5 wishes is that it paints a picture for you. Most people don't have a health care directive because they're too hard to fill out, and they don't know what it is they want. As you'll see as we go through here, this paints a picture that makes it very easy to understand.
Good. Well, let's go on to the second wish. My wish for the kind of medical treatment I want or don't want. Now, what does that entail?
It goes through and it describes if you're in a coma and you're not expected to wake up, do you want to be resuscitated, do you not? If you have an incurable disease, you know, how do you want that to be treated? And the whole goal, people just want to know, your family wants to know, what do you want? They just don't want to agonize over it.
This is remarkable. It says here, what life support treatment means to me. That could be a variety of choices, couldn't it?
And it could be different for every person. But that's why you and I need to know what's important to us so that we can communicate that to our families.
Number 3, wish number 3, my wish for how comfortable I want to be. For example, it starts out, I do not want to be in pain. Well, then it continues, what else does it entail?
It's important that you communicate what your pain level is so that your advocate can go to bat for you. People have pain levels in many different levels, and it's good to communicate that. Sometimes we take for granted that we automatically know how to do things when someone is terminally ill, but we don't. We need to have it spelled out because for families it's a very difficult time. And so if you can say, I'd like to have a cool washcloth put on my forehead, I'd like to have soothing music played, and that gives them ideas of how they can help you.
You know, do you have any statistics to indicate how many people actually seniors have a living will? Is there?
The education is getting out there, and we're seeing more and more folks are seeing, we just cannot afford not to plan anymore.
It's essential, do you think that?
It is. Every person over the age of 18 needs to have a health care directive.
And because this this gives us an opportunity to actually make a decision. It's such an all-inclusive document, and yet it's so easy to read.
Yes, it is, and that's why my kids who are 25, 23, and 20 could go through and fill that out, and it was very easy to understand. It empowers people is what it does, because you're getting across what your individual thoughts are, and that makes it so much easier for your family.
Well, let's see, we didn't wish number 3. My wish for how I want people to treat me. And then it says, please cross out anything that you don't agree with. For example, I wish to have people with me when possible. I want someone to be with me when it seems that death may come at any time. I wish to have my hand held and be talked to when possible, even if I don't seem to respond to the voice or touch of others. And let's see what else we have here. I wish to have others by my side praying for me when possible. I wish to have the members of my faith community told that I am sick and asked to pray for me and visit me. I wish to be cared for with kindness and cheerfulness and not sadness. And I wish to have pictures of my loved ones in my room, near my bed, and so forth. I want to die in my home if that can be done. Well, and it says here, cross out anything you don't want. Well, this is a remarkable document because it sort of tells everything that that the person may want to have.
And it's very individual. Like I said, your family does not want to agonize or second guess what you want. They just want to know because you have great value, and they really want to honor that. And this gives them permission to honor you because it's what you want.
Wish number 5, the final wish. My wish for what I want my loved ones to know. Again, please cross out anything that you don't agree with. And this is really very beautifully written. Where was it written?
It was actually written by a lawyer who worked with Mother Teresa. And when he saw how people were dying and they had no words to communicate or the family didn't know what to do, that's how he put this document together. And you know, when people are dying, nobody ever talks about things or they say, I wish I would have worked more. You know, it's all about forgiveness. It's all about love. And it's very difficult for the family, but when you go through and see what the wishes are written there, it also says, what do you want done with your funeral arrangements?
It says here in wish 5, several of them, there's a lot of them, I won't go through all of them. I wish to have my family and friends know that I love them. I wish to be forgiven for the times I have hurt my family, friends, and others. I wish to have my family, friends, and others know that I can forgive them for when they may have hurt me in my life. I wish for my family and friends to know that I do not fear death itself. I think it is not the end, but a new beginning for me. It goes on. It's really beautifully done.
It is.
And it's almost sort of religious content to it.
You know, but people, when they are dying, the most important thing to them is their family and being able to communicate those kinds of things. And sometimes they don't know how. One gentleman put in there, I long before I die that my 2 sons would make peace with each other. I guess they'd argued all their life, never saw things eye to eye. And sure enough, the gentleman was in hospice and the sons reading that every day, they made peace before they died, and the dad was able to witness that. So it's very powerful.
Well, now, this document, which I'm holding up, I'm not sure that we'll get it exactly. It's a very easy to read document. 5 wishes, my wish for. Now, I know that we're putting this on the screen, and we're putting up an email and also telephone, and so people can call you or email to get a copy of this. There's no obligation, right?
Nope.
And they can call you and ask questions and so on.
Sometimes when people get the document, I teach community ed classes, I teach seminars on this, and sometimes people will call and they'll ask a question. I just like this to be clarified and be happy to answer that. If I don't know the answer, I'll find somebody who does. You know, but the main thing I've seen what happens with people is they feel very empowered once they get it filled out because they've left some direction and for their families, and they've left a part of themselves because this is what I would like as much as possible.
Thank you very much, Jeannie McGill. We've been talking to Jeannie McGill, a certified senior advisor